Do you know what the most important thing about lockpicking is? The most important thing. Now, you may say somewhere in this mess, and I'm going to tell you a funny story about this mess. Because if you look at this over here, right, it's like a funny story. Her daughter came in and said, I can see we've got a little office there. And she said, I can see the difference between your two personalities, Mom. She said in Afrikaans. Maar I kan sien. No, she said it in English, actually. She said, your desk is like a mess. It's full of papers. But Wimbaden's desk is clean and everything. And that's like my lock-picking desk. It's not. It's my lock-picking display, right? This over here, I said to her, actually, you're not quite correct, because this is how and then I clean it up every night. So this is actually my desk. And so back to that question, the most important part of lockpicking, if you look at your lockpicks, right, you would think that they are the most important part of picking a lock. Then you'd think maybe the locks are the most important part of picking a lock. And I got to tell you, if you think any of those things, you're wrong. You're very, very wrong. Because imagine you were flying hobby aircraft, right? And or radio controlled or whatever they call it, radio controlled aircraft. The aircraft doesn't matter. And the radio control doesn't matter. The community is what matters, because you're not going to go flying alone, are you? It's going to get boring. You're just going to stand there and fly and go home. You want guys who's going to discuss it and help you out and give advice and swap stuff. And it's a community. It's always the community. And I got to tell you, I've been a member of a few communities. The spray painting and bodywork community were they were full of assholes, right? You can't use this. You have to use epoxy primer. No, you know what? You can use whatever you want. That's what you can use. It's your project car. You building it. You spraying it. And if the paint comes off, it's your problem. The community of the Locksport community is one of the finest communities I've ever belonged to. There isn't a single guy who's trying to be smarter than anyone else or more cleverer. There are people that are more experienced, and they just give their experience to the new guys, like amazingly. And it's this community that has landed this box here, you know. So I've got to say a huge shout out to the Locksport community. They are fantastic guys. There's never anyone that's been full of shit about this or that or this or that, you know. They just stick together, and it really is one of the most amazing communities. So even the cat is, I mean, look at this cat. Can you see the cat in there? This cat's a retard, right? He's learned to unroll the toilet paper. Fuck's sakes. Um, he's part of the community, this little guy. Not so little anymore. And yes, so there's a couple of guys I'd really, really like to thank for this. I haven't unpacked it yet. But the one guy that is really one of the most outstanding guys is Lockdown Picker. He is an amazing guy. I know he's going through a lot, and yet through it all, he has assembled all of this, got it together, and he's even experienced, a small percentage of the nightmare that we have to deal with to get through South African customs or anything shipped here. I mean, like he's experienced this. Oh, fucking hell. And yeah, and this is a problem. We can't get decent stuff here. So it's like really Lockdown Picker. Thank you. Um, you've gone through a lot, and yet through it all, you've still been putting this together and dealing with the shit that South African postage and customs has to offer. So that is a big thank you to you. You're a scholar, a squire, and a gentleman. Another one is I've not unpacked this. Look at him; he's packed this proper. Is Richard Jones, the Welsh lockpicker, who has, Mr. Lockdown Picker, what have you done here? Who has kindly donated me this pinning mat. I think it's fantastic. I don't need to no longer go crawling around on the floor looking for driver pins. By the way, if you guys are still looking for pinning kits, the floor's full of them. This is amazing. This is going to live here. This is going to look a lot more, not look, it's going to work better. I think it looks fantastic. And yes, this is beautiful. Thank you so much. I think that's quite comfy, and a spring is not going to shoot across there very quickly. Well, it'll shoot across there, it'll slow down very quickly, and that's what you want, isn't it? Cat, you in the way. Now you're going to play with it. And then, fucking hell, that's quite big. Again, lockdown picker. I'm like trying to not say your name here, you know. That it's not easy, man. Look at that. Matlock. Can't get them here. This is beautiful. Look at that. Jeez, look at, I actually haven't seen a shackle that size ever. Man, that sounds good. That is awesome. Thank you for that. And then there is a note in here. Ah, there you go. I'm gonna put that up on my display. Hey mate, I hope this wee box of toys finds you well and puts a smile on your face. Enjoy. All the best, lockdown picker. He's got nice fucking handwriting. I can't write like that. He really that is I'm actually gonna frame that. You know, I'm gonna have that framed and I'm gonna stick it up there because, you know, this beautiful. And then we've got stickers. Lots of stickers. That's us also going up. Guess what that is? 3 guesses, guys. You know what it is. And Welsh Lockpicker, Richard Jones, thank you very much. That is super awesome. I know what this is. That's plastic. That's what it is. Multi-pick, yes, because I've used up all my multi-pick. Just checking that. This is perhaps the finest. Let's make sure that we've got everything there. Great. There's a box for you, Cat. The best. Now I got to tell you the story. To get a Sparrows, one of these would actually be more expensive for me. So it's a bit of a no-brainer. And look at that. In here, we have... I got to pay Andrew Law back because I finally received the South African Post Office. These are the picks that I've been after. And if you are ever looking for a really, really superb pick, I'm definitely going to recommend this is sort of like the equivalent to me of a Reaper number 5. That is a Steve Tapine Miller Tapine 0.5 mil Teardrop Pro. And it is just a superb pick. The others I haven't really spent much time with. And this is a big special shout out to Nick Hope for the small handmade custom pick. I think we're going to have some. I actually have some locks I'm going to start this on. That feels beautiful. That is superb. I don't have the patience to make picks. I have. And then we have the RWB Customs. So, Mr. RWB Yan, thank you very much. This is the Distatainer pick. And this is superb. I know Georgia Jim has been using the Sparrows, and he has switched to this, and he said that this is just like a cut above the rest. I'm going to assume that little guy goes in there. And I'm no good at Distatainers, but I've learned, you know. I've learned the hard way. Don't go for the cheap stuff. Go for the proper stuff first, because buy once, cry once, and you're gonna save your money. That grab screw goes in there. That is just a wonderful piece of kit. I know Robert Martinez has been using them a lot and he really enjoys it. So I'm looking forward to giving this one a go. That goes on there. And this is all handmade, hand machined. I'm very happy with that. And in here is your disc alignment tool, and an extra tip because he says they are unbreakable. Well, he hasn't met me, has he? And a bottle opener. No, you can't have it. A bottle opener. That is going on in the display. So, guys, especially Lockdown Picker, thank you so much. I'd really, really appreciate all your efforts. And I'm so super happy this has arrived. I can't begin to tell you. I'm actually going to take that and get cracking right on that, even though I've got the flu. I don't care. I'm going to get going. Guys, really amazing community, and thank you very much. I really, really appreciate it.